3.5 hours later, President Cyril Ramaphosa was able to take to the podium and reply to the presidency budget vote debate that took place yesterday. Of course, this delay came as a result of those point of orders that were raised by the economic freedom fighters, who were eventually chased out of the chamber. The president, again, I'm just going to move out of shot so I can give you visuals of the president as he exits the chamber. He's making his way to go address the media. He's going to have a media engagement there where he's going to be asked questions and where he's going to be responding to the questions in that particular session that has been organized. There, the president leaving the chamber, as you see right there before you. So what the EFF has now sought to do, Thembekile, as you have pointed out, is to go lay criminal charges against the Speaker. And the Speaker, in her conclusion, as she wrapped up the proceedings inside the chamber, she noted how difficult it was for her to actually preside over this presidency budget vote over the past 2 days, obviously speaking to the events of the physical scuffles that took place when the parliamentary security staff was escorting the EFF MPs. But I do have the ACDP's Mr. Steve Swart. It's important to obviously give you reaction from different political parties. Mr. Steve, thank you so much for your time. Just your quick reaction to what has been transpiring in the past 2 days.
Well, I think that what we wanted to do was to hold the president to account, allow him to address and allow him for us to respond to that as well. What that happened, disregarding the fact that there were disruptions occurring, and that unfortunately the nation of South Africa had to watch that, and I think that was very sad. It's almost taken steps back, where people are desperate. They want answers from Parliament. They want answers from the President. And we saw all these totally unacceptable disruptions. And so, yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to ask my colleague to pen and show the Speaker leaving the chamber. There she is. But you can continue, Mr. Swart. We're listening to your response.
Yes. And so what we did see was, despite these attempts to disrupt Parliament, and I indicated when I responded as well that we as parliamentarians need to apologize to the nation, because we are elected representatives and they expect us to do our job and not conduct ourselves as we saw, where the decorum of the House was totally disrupted. But we are grateful, and we said it this morning when we met, we said the President needs to be able to respond, and we will not allow people to disrupt. Even if he responds later, he will respond. And he was able to respond, and we're very grateful for that, the manner that he was able to respond, because that is holding the executive to account.
Thank you so much for your time. The ACDP's Mr. Steve Swart, you can go off. I know many MPs are actually chasing flights as they leave Cape Town, but of course, President Cyril Ramaphosa right now on his way to the Imbizo Center, leaving the Good Hope Chamber, right across where our senior politics reporter Yanda Ngobo will be engaging with other media representatives, asking President Cyril Ramaphosa a lot of questions. Of course, we're expecting him to address the issue of the robbery at his farm.
Just on the issue of the EFF MPs, we also learned today that some of them had to go to hospital, such as Naledi Chirwa, to get some kind of treatment after they were basically shoved out of that session.
Yes, it was quite physical, to say the least, pardon me, as the EFF was being chased out by the parliamentary security here. So she ended up having to go seek medical attention. You might have seen those visuals right here on Newzroom Afrika, where they were being physically taken out and removed from the chamber. This, of course, as I said to you, Thembekile, as they raised point of orders, delaying the president's reply. And so the Speaker had asked Naledi Chirwa from the EFF, as well as Sinawo Tambo from the EFF, to leave the House. And so she called on the parliamentary security to come and basically take them out of the chamber. And that kind of scuffle and the way in which security personnel handled them, particularly Naledi Chirwa, you would have seen her expressing, of course, how she could have been in pain at that particular point in time. And so our understanding now is that she's gone to seek medical attention. because she clearly looked as though she was hurt, given the amount of force that was used by security personnel to take her out of the chamber. But what we noticed is that the Speaker kept on saying that with the security personnel, those who are male shouldn't touch the female MPs. But what we saw is the female security personnel of Parliament leading in the front, where they were the ones pushing the female MPs, and right at the back of the female security personnel was the male personnel then assisting in the evacuation of the MPs inside the chamber. So she has gone to seek medical attention.